Welcome to Shift2Growth, where we talk to the world's best marketers and get insights. And right now, today, we have Greg Acquavella with Griffin Networks. I've been working with Greg for 6 to 7 months on some really cool projects. And man, this guy knows how to build lead gen and to build brand. Greg, welcome. Can you talk a little bit about yourself and what you're doing?
Absolutely. Well, first off, thanks for having me on. Really excited about this. Yeah, so a little bit about me. So, right, I am the senior marketing manager right now for Griffin Networks. We're developing campaigns, stringing up a variety of different things, doing a lot of outbound, a lot of inbound, some fun ABM things. Yeah, things are going great. Excited to be here.
Let me ask, and I ask this to every one of my guests, 3 questions. Number one is, and it's a good question, what are you working on that's really cool and you're really excited about?
So this is an easy one for me. So I am really excited about what we're doing with the data intent or intent data. And there are a ton of intent data platforms out there that you can leverage, such as, G2, Bombora, some really cool things with Leadlander or HubSpot. And so it's how you use all of that information to really impact the sales organization, to really help them succeed and get meetings. And so one of the really cool things we're doing right now is we've combined G2 data with Bombora data and are actually able to provide the SDRs with a priority level of counts that they should be prospecting. So we have this really cool report in Salesforce that we used. It actually got so much traction that G2 and Bombora are both very interested with what we're doing. We're doing a lot of really cool things. It's going to turn into a webinar. It's also going to turn into an ebook. We're going to come out with a really cool data intent sales playbook for some of the SDRs and reps so that everybody can use this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just something really awesome that I'm really pumped about.
So are you scoring these anyway? And are they turning into leads?
We are. And actually, so to answer the second question first, if you take a look at the past, I'd say 3 months when we really started to do this, we've seen a dramatic increase with the amount of opportunities that have been created based on intent data, whether it's coming from G2 or Bombora. Our internal folks are able to tailor their cadences around the topics that the buyers are actually searching for. And that customized level of cadences really impacts and really helps these sellers to helps resonate the message. So that's really cool.
So you're seeing buyers surfing the web on keywords that are important to your company. Mm-hmm. You're capturing their ISP or URLs and figuring out where they're coming from. And when they're landing in G2, you're combining this data, and then you're using this data for outreach. And then from when you're talking to me earlier, you were saying, then we're using marketing automation tools to kind of see when their behavior comes to our site. So now you're really watching, or you're nurturing. You haven't even started nurturing. You're just watching them go down the funnel. And that's when your team gets involved, either with an outbound call, outbound email. That is really cool. I mean, talk about really having a great customer experience and understanding what they're looking for and giving them some room to explore.
And that's the biggest thing, right? Because a lot of times, sellers, they don't want to necessarily be, bombarded with all these messages right away. And so by using data intent, it gives us this better sense of, our first piece of content we're going to give them is different than what content piece number 4 is. The first one might be an ebook, but as they move down the funnel, it's going to be more around case studies, really, certain things about how they can solve pains at their business. And so, data intent data is really allowing us to get hyper focused on that. And then, like you said, in turn, turn that into automated marketing campaigns that we're able to spin up.
That's why we have insights from world's best marketers, and you're one of those. Really cool what you're trying to do. It's really innovative. Number 2 question, what trends affecting your business, or what trends do you think is just going to be offending the marketplace? It could be a positive or negative trend.
Sure. Well, one of the biggest things, obviously with everybody being remote and the way that we are, just engaging, due to COVID is, and you see this across Gartner, Forrester, everybody's, the predictions. When you look at the overall spend that, CMOs are, reallocating based on this, seeing a lot more shift into digital. You're seeing a lot more shift into third-party validations. You're seeing a lot more shift into, content that can be consumed on a variety of different channels. So making sure you're on all of these different channels across the web, because, in-person events might be a thing of the past for at least the next year. And so you're seeing some creative trends around, where money is actually being spent to get the best bang for your buck.
So let's ask a question. Good answer. Are you just seeing this for B2C, or are you seeing this in B2B?
Seeing this in B2B, so in B2B as well. So that's something that is very interesting, where you see a lot of these enterprise accounts. You used to have these relationships where you'd fly out, you'd go, you have these meetings, right? You'd sit down, you have your relationship, you take them out to dinner.
I remember those days.
You'd wine and dine them, right? You'd schmooze them and all this. And what we're learning is that, especially in the enterprise world, that's not necessary and could be a potential, waste of dollars. If you're going to fly somebody out to California, if you're on the East Coast, you got to think about hotels, you got to think about flights, and if it's just for a meeting, right? And so if you can build that rapport over, Zoom and give the buyers what they want at the right time in the buying journey, we're seeing that, you can eliminate that, but still provide a really high value, a really high level of kind of feedback and a high level of, activity that the seller actually wants.
Well, we were discussing that. The buyer journey, 70% is complete before even the buyer picks up the phone. And when that leads to, for the audience to say, when you get that call, you better have somebody that's really customer focused that can get the answer or know where to get the answer, because there's no patience anymore. Well, I know I don't have much patience, but here's my last question. Great answer. So data intent was a big one for you, right?
Huge.
The trend of the digital trend and going over to B2B. And number 3 is, what cool app do you use, man? You're a young dude. You're doing some incredible things. What app do you like tinkering with right now that's helping you?
So I'm going to give you
personal.
Yeah, I'm going to give you 2, because one's kind of a little obvious one, but right now the cool fun thing I'm playing around with is HubSpot. It's a marketing automation tool. Yes, it's a lot more than that. So what you can do in HubSpot is a ton. It's not necessarily only scheduling emails, but I can spin up landing pages, and I can spin up ads and emails and link my social. Yeah. And then the cool thing about that is I can build dashboards that correlate all of those metrics. It's all in one. And it makes my life so much easier. So I'm not pulling from Google Analytics. I'm not pulling from Salesforce. I'm not I still have all my campaigns in Salesforce and things like that, but having it all in one is really helpful. The second one that's really cool, and I think would really help other marketers such as myself that are still launching campaigns. It's a subject line tester tool called Automitzy, and it is super cool because what you do is you copy.
What is it called again? Let the audience know. How do you spell it?
Automitzy, and I will. It's Automizy. So okay. Automitzy, sorry. And the really cool thing about that is you take your subject line, you copy it right into the thing. It's a super online web application, totally free. And it tests it basically scores your subject lines. So, I always try to, and it's based on a variety of different, algorithms, how eye-catching is it? Is it going to get some clicks? And so that way, you can go into some of these campaigns and at least have a baseline for saying, all right, is this a good one? Is this not a good one?
Right.
Because I can't tell you how many times, I thought something would be really cool, and I put it into this, put it into Automitzy or a variety of others, and it gets an insanely low score, and the numbers reflect that. I could see my open rates and my click rates, and when I actually use this, and it's super helpful and something that I really like to use.
Well, wow, thank you. Wow, thank you for the tips, and also. I love the Automitzy because now when you can really feel rest assured that your outbound emails or your outbound dialogue is attracting attention. So that's a really good tool. Well, thank you, Greg. Thank you for being on Shift2Growth, because I think people need to change their paradigms, and some of the tools you gave us and ideas I hope our audience can use. So thank you so much. Have a great year, and I really appreciate what you do for the marketplace. Thank you.
John, appreciate it.
See you, buddy.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.